You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White sports fans. I think that it's safe to say that we are learning the names of many of these Olympians at the Tokyo Games for many of the wrong reasons. Did anybody really know Gwen Berry before the protesting leading up to the Olympics? I would say no. I would say the majority of people did not know that. People that watch the Olympics, we want to tune in because we want to see competition. We don't want to see the politics. We don't want to see the protests. And we know that this Olympics has went super duper woke. Just last week, we actually learned the name of a Costa Rican gymnast not because she won a medal, because she didn't win a medal at all. It's because she did a Black Lives Matter routine in competition, breaking IOC Rule 50. Did anything happen to her? I don't think so. I haven't heard anything. Well, fast forward to today. We have an American now that actually won a silver medal in shot put. And her name is Raven Saunders. I didn't know her name. The only reason why I know her name now is, folks, because she violated Rule 50 and actually protested on the podium. A clear violation. Will anything actually happen to her? I highly doubt it. I don't trust the IOC to actually enforce this rule because the IOC does not want to be called racist. And Raven Saunders, she is a black woman from America. Also, she checks another box also as she is queer as well. And she deals with some mental health issues as well. Looked it up, found that out as well. So I really do not believe the IOC is going to do much of anything. So let's dive into this, guys. Raven Saunders raises overhead X on podium in most high-profile protest yet at Tokyo Olympics. Violating rule number 50, of course, but nothing at all, I believe anyway, is going to happen to her. It says here, American silver medalist Raven Saunders offered the highest profile protest yet at these Olympics on Sunday night. Saunders, who competed in a shot put, raised her arms over her head in an X as she, gold medalist Li Xiaogong, and bronze medalist Valerie Adams posed for photographers. She stood with her hands in front of her doing the anthem. And we actually do have a picture here, folks. This is the picture right here. This is her on the left here, raising her hand in an X. And we're actually going to get into what that actually means. People know about kneeling for the anthem. People know about raising the fist. She did something a bit more different. But we'll move on here and continue to read the rest of this here. Saunders told the Associated Press that the symbol represented the intersection of where all people who are oppressed meet. Now, she didn't really specify who's actually being oppressed. And normally these athletes, they don't actually know who's actually being oppressed. They just run with a narrative and never give any kind of context to it. But it says here, while the IOC did relax its Rule 50 before the Tokyo Games, saying athletes could speak up in media conferences or during introductions, IOC chief Thomas Bach reiterated that athletes could not protest on the medal stand. And what did Saunders do? Protested on the medal stand. Last month, he told the Financial Times, the podium and the medal ceremonies are not made for a political or other demonstration. They're made to honor the athletes and the medal winners for sporting achievement and not for their private views. Saunders clearly violated that. The mission is to have the entire world together at one place and competing peacefully with each other. This you would never manage if the games became divisive. Saunders, who is black, queer, and battles depression and is open about all three, spoke at length after her medal-winning performance, saying she wants to help shine a light on people around the world who are fighting and don't have a platform to speak up for themselves. Bach has threatened sanctions for athletes who protest on the podium, though it is unclear what the sanctions would be. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee allowed protests at its trials for these games, but once at the Olympics, athletes are under IOC rules. And right there's no clear description of what kind of penalties the IOC is going to do. It even says it right here. Unclear what the sanctions would be. I can tell you what the sanctions are going to be. It's going to be nothing. Nothing is going to happen to any athlete that violates Rule 50 and protests on the podium. Nothing. Nothing happened to the Costa Rican gymnast as far as we know. That was a week ago. IOC, they haven't done anything. And that was in competition. In competition. This was actually on the podium. And I believe this is actually the first person to actually protest on the podium. Nothing is going to happen to Raven Saunders. Absolutely nothing. You know, we should be talking about her winning the silver medal, which is a good achievement. But no, we have to talk about all of the other stuff that people don't actually watch the Olympics for. If you watch these Olympics, were you actually watching for the protests? I'm pretty sure you're not. People just want to see competition. They actually want to see people be patriotic to their country and compete. And hopefully, win the gold. I mean, she won the silver. That's great. She won the silver medal. But we're not talking about that because she wanted to protest on the podium, a clear violation of Rule 50 under the IOC. But the IOC, they don't really have any power. They're not going to enforce anything. I highly doubt anything really is going to happen to Raven Saunders for protesting. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.